You're watching Alaska's news source.
We are leading our news coverage tonight looking at the snow coming down. Our weather team has been tracking wintry impacts for much of Alaska leading into this weekend and called a first alert day for today. Meteorologist Bailey Braun has the details.
Thank you, Michaela. Yes, today is a first alert day for the interior. This is where we're mostly seeing a lot of that heavy snowfall coming down, especially into Fairbanks and as you progress more west towards western Alaska. But I just wanted to show you a look at what we're seeing across the state. In South Central, we're seeing some snowfall coming down, but not as much as what Fairbanks is seeing. Up to about 8 to 10 inches of total snow accumulation are likely by Sunday night. Now for Juneau and Southeast, that's just where that wet weather is lingering. Now, I wanted to pay attention to these peak wind gusts for today. Lots of gusts up to 50 and even 55 miles per hour, and this is all located more out west. This is where this storm that's already made landfall last night and into this morning, it's actively dissipating. However, these strong wind gusts are still a factor for today, even lingering into tomorrow, and that will pick up for the interior tonight as well. So this winter storm warning highlighted in pink, this is really what we're focusing our attention on for today. You can see that blot of purple popping up all across the interior. That's that heavy snowfall all across the region and even just a little bit for South Central. But again, that winter storm warning for western Alaska, even into the interior, that's where a lot of this heavy snowfall is likely for tonight, drying up just a little bit more into tomorrow, but picking back up, especially for western Alaska by Monday morning. Now shifting our attention just from what we've seen today in South Central, that's where this winter weather advisory has been issued. Now we have already accumulated a little bit of snowfall, about 1 to 3 inches from Anchorage all the way into the Mat-Su Valley. However, this winter weather advisory will expire at 6 p.m. tonight. This is mostly for that freezing rain impact. So if you're going out on any Valentine's Day dates tonight, be ready for those roads to be very slick, so be sure to take your time and give yourself extra time with those icy roads. Now with that snowfall for the interior, you're likely to get an additional 2 to 4 inches by Sunday night. That's really what that snow accumulation is looking like to wrap up the weekend. But the heaviest snowfall amount is already actively underway for today, and you already saw a lot of that last night as well. So as we look ahead for tomorrow, things will calm down in western Alaska, but they will pick right back up by tomorrow night into Monday. Michaela?
We've heard multiple reports say that the streets in the Anchorage area are a bit slippery. As of about 4 p.m., the Anchorage Police Department says it was called for 22 vehicles in distress since midnight, as well as 27 collisions. There were also an additional 12 collisions with injuries. And a road near Kasilof is now open after an hours-long closure. Alaska State Troopers say a vehicle collision near Kasilof prompted a road closure on California Beach Road near Cobbler Lane. Troopers said around 10:45 this morning that both directions of that road were closed at mile 1. AST did not provide information about whether there were any injuries or how many vehicles were involved, saying this morning that troopers were still on the scene and additional information would be provided when it is available. The Anchorage Fire Department helped rescue a person from a fire at a mobile home park near DeBar and Burgaw this morning. AFD says 2 people made it out on their own, one through the front door before flames later blocked it, and the other through the kitchen window. Firefighters found a third person unconscious inside the mobile home and got that person out also through a window. All 3 people were taken to the hospital, and there was another fire down the street a little less than a month ago. Someone was found dead after that fire. For 3 years, the spaceship of Fairbanks has sat in a state of uncertainty. In case you missed it, once a Title I school, Joy Elementary was closed in 2022 to help the district bridge a budget gap, but the savings for the school district became a new bill for the borough. Taxpayers are currently paying thousands of dollars a month just to keep the empty building from freezing. Mayor Greer Hopkins says hundreds of residents have weighed in on the survey, with most favoring a return to educational or community use.
My hopes and dreams is that we can figure out what we want to do and get a proposal out to the community by the end of this fiscal year, so that starting July 1, we either have a divestment in hand or a process in place that's moving forward quickly.
Other repurposing options range from childcare to veterans housing, but high renovation costs remain a hurdle. The public survey closes at the end of February. For many small businesses in Anchorage, Valentine's Day plays a key role At Hummel's Flowers, this single week generates a large portion of the shop's annual revenue. Danny Tompkins stepped inside the shop to see how the local business turned chaos into bouquets and why one holiday can make it or break it for them.
It's controlled chaos in the workroom. The core crew of 5 has swelled to nearly 10, with former employees returning for what one calls her flower holiday.
So we have a bunch of people that have worked here in past lives, and they come back and hang out with us for the holidays.
But this Valentine's Day looks different. Because it falls on a Saturday, more customers are picking up arrangements themselves, cutting delivery costs in a year when every dollar counts.
Since I know a lot of people in Alaska and in the U.S. are looking at finances this year, that has been a really lovely way to cut some of the expense. If you can hand deliver it, if you can bring it to somebody, not only does it mean a little bit more that you get to be the one giving them that joy, but it also means that you don't have to pay for our delivery drivers. And so
now I'm in the workroom where all the magic happens. Behind me, workers are assembling flowers that will make up 500 or 600 bouquets sold just in Valentine's Day week. Now, Valentine's Day and Mother's Day combined represent about 50% of this shop's revenue. That's the reality of a small business. One day can make or break the bottom line.
Very busy, very high, fast pace.
The pressure starts early, with workers arriving at 4 or 5 a.m.
we're working like 12 to 14-hour days, and it really depends on who and what, but we're pushing some long scheduled hours from our normal 8 to 5s.
Despite the long hours and rising costs, Adler describes the day in 2 words.
Magically chaotic, I think, is the right way to do it. We love what we do. We do it to the best of our ability, but there is a little bit of chaos, and we try to hide that from everybody.
After the week passes, the team will clean up, shut down the extra cooler, and finally head home to celebrate their own Valentine's Day. For Hummel's Flowers, Valentine's Week is more than a holiday. It's the heartbeat of their business.
Keeps the blood moving.
One bouquet at a time. Danny Tompkins, Alaska's news source.
Still ahead, it's called the world's longest, toughest snow machine race, and it's now underway on our own backyard. Our coverage of the 42nd edition of the Iron Dog continues after this. Spanning more than 2,300 miles across the state, this year's Iron Dog course is taking its racers far and wide. The first stop coming at Big Lake this morning. Tyler Lane recaps a snow-packed start.
Here at Big Lake, the ice, as you can see in my beard, isn't just for show at this point. Snow has been coming down all morning here at the start of the 42nd running of the Iron Dog Snow Machine Race. But despite the weather, these teams are still putting pedal to the metal.
3, 2, 1.
Slow is smooth and smooth is fast. But when you can't really see much in front of you, slow might be your only smooth option. For the Iron Dog race pool this morning, that about sums it up.
It's going to slow us way down. Until it clears up, yeah.
Flicking off flakes for most of the day, you won't find many racers taking in the scenery this go-around. For them, the focus is on the task at hand.
The rule of thumb, I think, in this deal is get to McGrath clean and then go from there. Obviously, you can lose the race the first day, but you also want to not be in the back. You know, just want to run it smooth at your pace and get to McGrath.
I just think about just the race today, and I just wish all the racers safe travels today and get to McGrath. And it's one of those Alaskan events that just you never let go of.
All 30 teams out of that paddock now. As you can see, the breakdown starting to happen behind me. That's because the race finishing in Fairbanks this year. The next time we'll actually see these teams in person, though, at that first major checkpoint in McGrath. Tyler Lane, Alaska's news source.
Our sports teams Jordan Rodenberger and Charlie Fellows are in McGrath, a few checkpoints from the start. No racers are there yet, so they had some fun and got creative for today's assignment.
30 teams of 2 racers each hit the gas from Big Lake Saturday morning to begin the 2026 running of the Iron Dog Snow Machine Race. At the end of day 1, they'll come roaring down this Kuskokwim River and to McGrath, the first major checkpoint on the route.
The Anoco Lodge, a welcoming sight after more than 300 miles of some of Alaska's toughest terrain, including the farewell burn between Roan and Nikolai, which in low snow seasons can cause damage to both humans and machine.
Which hasn't really been an issue from South Central to the interior this year, so teams might be arriving to McGrath much faster than in previous races.
Where teams and machines will get a full night's rest.
Once they get here, teams will declare between a 10 and 14-hour layover here as strategy really starts to play a role once day 2 rolls around.
And the town anxiously awaits its arrival as the final preparations are being made.
Stay tuned to Alaska's news source for arrivals, departures, and updates all throughout the Iron Dog Trail.
I'm Jordan Rodenberger.
And I'm Charlie Fellows,
Alaska's news source.
And let's take a look at those latest standings as of about 5 p.m. The leaders are neck and neck, and it's changing by the hour. Right now, teams 5 and 14 are currently in the lead.
Thanks for listening. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcast from Alaska's news source automatically. And stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.